This week, eating disorders, Obama mania, a CHC journey to Africa, and the master of the cube. Insider begins right now. Many college students across America suffer from anorexia, bulimia, and other eating disorders. CHC counselors are ready to help, and the Insider's Raul Estevez talked with one of them.
We're doing a screening today for National Eating Disorders Awareness Month, and our screening is an eating awareness to give students a chance to see if they might have issues with eating or have some maybe overeating or not eating enough, just kind of see where they fall in.
Have there been any case of eating disorders at Chestnut Hill College?
I can say in general, with students across the country and with adolescents in general, that sometimes there are students who have problems with eating. And so not just this school, but every school across the country.
If somebody realizes that they could have eating disorder, what should they do?
They might be losing weight, they might be gaining a good deal of weight, they may have stressed feelings, and that will influence their eating patterns. And so if you're really feeling like you're stressed out and your eating patterns are not as they were, then perhaps you should do a screening like this or go on some of the websites and get some information about eating disorders.
The Counseling Center is on the 3rd floor of St. Joseph's Hall. It's open weekdays, 9 to 5. What is it about Barack Obama that has captured the imagination of young people? The Insider's Mike Reid explored that question with a special guest.
We're here today with Brian Taylor, who is the captain of the debate team here at CHC. So Brian, how did Obama become so popular with Americans? What chord did he strike?
I feel that it's kind of his message. He's got such a positive, simple, straightforward message. He believes very strongly in change. Change is just such a simple, positive message that it resonates well with everyone. Beyond that, he's also a bit of a political outsider with no political record. He doesn't have the bad publicity that Hillary does, coming from, her prior years in Congress and as the First Lady. He's a new candidate with a very positive message. You can't beat that.
Considering he's very vague on some of his issues, he's not really concrete, doesn't really stand, obviously, for change, but nothing very specific. When he debates, he doesn't hit a specific issue. Do you think that will hurt him, possibly?
I think that will hurt him if he does carry further into the election, or if he does become president, because eventually people are going to want to know what specifically he stands for. There's a lot of people who do single-issue voting, who, for wherever a candidate stands, that's where they go, especially as it comes down to one candidate versus the other in the presidential election.
And you mentioned Hillary Clinton, how she spent time in the White House, previously some scandals surrounded that. Do you think, since he's not considered maybe a politician, do you think that will help him, some of an innocent view, and he hasn't really been involved in any scandals that we know of?
I think that will help him a lot. Historically, candidates who come from the outside tend to have that kind of mark about them, where you don't have to worry about what they've been through before. They really don't have any skeletons in their closet. They're simply just electable. I think that his message resonates so well with young people that if the young people come out and step up and do the voting, that it will be Obama that carries. I also think it holds down to how well Hillary can manage her bad publicity.
And do you think the fact that she actually can be seen as being somewhat distressed in the sense of changing her campaign manager and putting a $5 million of her own money into her campaign?
I think that comes out as a very bad idea, because it shows that she's starting to get scared, she's starting to get a little nervous. If she continues to do things like that, people are going to lose faith in her. They want someone who's strong and who can lead.
Well, thank you for coming on the show once again, Brian
My
Taylor,
pleasure.
captain of the debate team. CHC, go out and vote, because it does matter.
6 adventurous CHC students are raising money for an upcoming trip halfway around the world to East Africa. The Insider's Jen Lipschultz talked with one of them.
I'm here today with AIESHA GRIERSON, and she and several other students are planning on going to
the Big Wa School in Morogoro, Tanzania.
And that's right about here on the map?
Here.
Great. And how many students?
It's going to be 6 from our class.
And you said another...
The Marywood University. It's going to be 8 students from the Marywood University.
So that's about a total of 14 students, correct? And when will you be going?
Towards the end of the semester, we're going from May 18th to June 2nd for 2 weeks.
What exactly are you going to be doing over in Tanzania with the sisters and the students?
We're helping them to prepare for their high school exams because if they can't pass these exams, they won't be able to move on to like college level education. So these exams are really important for them.
Are you doing any sorts of fundraisers for this?
We have tons of fundraising events coming up, like we're really starting to get on the ball with it. On February 26th, we have a coffee house dance party event coming up, so there are going to be a bunch of bands coming in, so if the school can make it out to that, that would be great. The RAs are going to have containers in their rooms, so you can collect change throughout the semester. You'd be surprised how the change will add up.
So you have until May of this year to collect about $800?
$800 each, so pretty much $2,400.
Well, that's not too bad for going that far around, going from around here over to there.
It's not, but if we can get the Chestnut Hill College community more involved, that'll be great to send us with a better send-off.
I definitely hope that this interview today will help that get out to the Chestnut Hill community.
I do as well, and look out for our bulletin board. We do have a bulletin board coming up with, it'll have all of our events on there, but it isn't up and running yet, so just keep a lookout for it.
I hope everything turns out well.
I do as well. Get involved, CHC. Let's go.
And finally, here is this week's edition of We Got Talent. You're not going to believe your eyes.
Today we're featuring Isagani Esteron, who has an unofficial Rubik's Cube solving record of 11.13 seconds. Glad you can make it on the show, Isagani. So tell us, how did you acquire that record?
I learned a system for solving it called Friedrich system, and it cuts it down to about 150 patterns, and each pattern has an algorithm, which is a series of moves. So I memorized all of those.
When I see that Rubik's Cube, I see 43 quintillion possibilities. I can't even count that high. What do you see?
Well, right now I see a solve cube, but if it's scrambled, I see patterns. Like the system I use, I try to find the first step of it, and as I'm doing that, I look ahead for the next step, and that's how I do it.
You know, I want to see this happen. Why don't you show us right now on the show?
Here's scramble it.
All right, I'll try to do my best. Let's see. There's a certain way to scramble this, or could I just keep going like
No,
this?
it's just random.
All right, let's see. It's my challenge to you. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Go. Wow, that was amazing.
There you
go. You must have a great math mind, be able a math whiz, are you?
I'm okay with math.
Wow, that's
I
amazing.
mean, you don't have to be a math genius to solve this, actually.
And your talent actually goes even deeper. He can do it with his eyes closed, with a blindfold on. And when he was here earlier today in the studio, we recorded him doing that, and we'll show you, and he'll describe it to you. Roll the tape, please.
Once you look at the cube, first you memorize it, but once you look at it, the time starts. So memorization is included with the solve. Like right now, I'm looking at the orientation of the edges, because there's 12 edges and 8 corners. I look at this piece, let's say, like the first piece, and I see where it goes. And I see the spot where it goes, and I look at that piece, and I see where that one goes. So it's kind of a pathway. I just kind of make a mental image in my mind, like where each one goes.
And your eyes are closed doing this. I mean, it's amazing to me to see you can do this with your eyes closed. Some people can't even do this with their eyes open, let alone do this in their whole life. So tell us, how do you go so fast? I mean, how does every finger know to go a specific route and to go so fast? Do you do finger exercises? What do you do to do this? Tell me.
Well, as I was, the more I kept doing it, the more I get faster, I guess. But yeah, I'm basically keeping track of just 2 pieces at a time.
And you've done this in competitions, correct?
Yes, I have.
And what was your place in competitions?
At that time, it was I was placed 3rd. It was back in the Philippines, of a time of 3:36, which was a bad time for me actually, because in competitions it's different than when you're just in your room or something, because there's lots of distractions and there's a lot of pressure.
And you're done. Look at that. You just did it blindfolded on that. We have somebody at our school that can do it blindfolded. How does that feel to you?
It makes me feel good, because it's a unique skill. But actually anybody can do it. So it's not a big deal to me, I guess, now.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Once again, Isagani Esteron, 11.13 seconds, unofficial record. And CHC, if you think you can do it, you come on our show and we will prove it. We will prove that he can outdo you. Also, if you have any other talents, come on, showcase it. You can be on the show, post it on YouTube, a resume item, whatever you may like. Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you next week.
That's it for this edition of The Insider. Let us know if you have a talent to showcase or a story to cover. I'm Brandon Credle. See you next time.